Hi everyone, welcome back to this week's dance class. We are still looking at art in religion and how it's used and represented and designed. We are still going to be looking at Islamic art this week because there's so much to look at. The more research I've done, the more I realise what beautiful movement we can make out of the patterns and things that we've been looking at. So we're going to be developing that more today, and we're going to be trying out different choreographic techniques. So you're going to be the choreographer, which is the person who makes up dances, and I know you're brilliant at this, so I'm going to teach you a new way to make up dances, and we're going to have a go at that. So it's going to be a really good lesson. We're going to have a really energetic warm-up to get us going. So we're going to do musical statues, okay, and we're going to get moving, and we're going to do some silly dancing, anything you like. Just move around your space, just be very careful not to hit your head on anything or whack anything off because we're in a slightly smaller space than we are normally. So just be aware of that. Are you ready? I'm going to put the music on. Here we go. Freeze, anything you like, okay? But you've got to be super still and super creative. Okay, you can see me switching off the music, can't you? Ready? Go! And freeze. Okay, something different this time. Anything you like. Be super still. Well done. All very good. Let's keep going. And freeze. Last one. Good. Well done. Okay, and relax. Well done. Give your arms a shake. Wake them up. Give your legs a shake. One at a time. Wake them up. Good, everything a shake. Okay, right, we're going to play our honeypot game because you're really good at this as well, you're good at everything. Can you pick up your honeypot? Okay, and what I want you to do is, this time we're going to dip your shoulder into the honeypot. That's a bit tricky, isn't it? So you can dip your shoulders into the honeypot. There we go, so our shoulders are going to be very sticky, okay, and this is what we're going to stick onto different things around your room. So the first thing I'd like you to stick your shoulder onto is something soft. Let's have a look. Now I've actually got a plant here, and this is actually quite soft, so I'm going to stick it to the plant. Okay, have a look. It might be a cushion, it could be the carpet. That's quite soft as well, isn't it? Lots of different soft things. Good. Right. Well done. The next thing I want you to stick your shoulder to is something black. Have a look around your room. Okay, it can be really big, it can be really small. Something black. Now I've got a picture frame here of this picture, so I'm actually going to stick my shoulder to that. It's very thin and very small, doesn't have to be big. Okay, so I'm going to stick it to that. Unstick. Oh, good. And the last one is, can you stick your shoulder to a wall? Okay, hopefully you've got some walls where you are. Okay, so can you stick your shoulder to a wall? Well done. Okay, I've got a lovely slanty wall here, so that's good. And unstick. Well done. Pick up your honey pot. Here we go. Okay, this is a good balancing one. This time you're going to stick your feet in the honey pot. Oh, lovely. Okay, get those feet covered in honey. And then put your honey pot down. Well done. With your feet, can you stick the feet to a wall? Okay, I'm not going to stick it to this one, that won't work, but I've got this one, so I think that'll work here. Stick your feet to a wall. You can be clever if you want to. You can try bring your bottom off the floor so you can balance on your hands. However you want to do it, stick your feet to the wall. Good, well done, and unstick. Good. This time, can you stick your feet together? Feet to feet, foot to foot even. So stick your feet together. together. If you're with someone else, that's brilliant. You could stick your feet together with that other person and maybe hold hands, stick your feet together. If not, you can just stick your own feet together. Well done. Now the last one, can you stick your feet to something cold? What's cold in here? Everything's cold at the moment, isn't it? It feels quite chilly. Now my radiator hasn't been on for a while, so now my radiator's quite cold, so I'm going to stick my feet to that. There we go. Okay, well done. Unstick. Good. Okay, now we've been looking at lots of different shapes and things, and I want to get our bodies remembering those shapes again. So I'm going to call out a few different words, and I want you to show me those shapes with your bodies. So the first shape I want you to show me is a flower shape. Anything you like. This is where you can use your imagination, and everybody's bodies are very different, so you might be doing very different things. So you could have a flower, maybe just with one petal kind of flower, like this. Okay, or you could be a flower spreading out on the floor. Okay, so whatever kind of flower you like, that's what you can be. Now, so show me a flower shape. Okay, anything you like. Good. Okay, slightly different. Can you show me a leaf shape? Okay, how could you show me a leaf shape? I think if I put my feet together, I've sort of got a nice pointy bit here. Okay, and that could be my leaf shape. And actually, if I bring my arms down as well, I can sort of be a double leaf. If I moved it to the side, it could be like two leaves overlapping, couldn't I? So that's a leaf shape. So you can copy me if you can't think of any ideas, or if you want to create your own leaf shape. Good. Okay, can you show me a scribble? Now that can be anything you like. Okay, it can be a scribble with your arm, it can be a scribble with your leg, anything you like. Imagine you've got a pen on your hip and you're doing a scribble with your hip. You can imagine leaving a line in the air. Maybe your elbow. Okay, good. Show me a scribble. You could have two pencils. Woo! Doing things at the same time. Good, we've got a good scribble. Okay, the next one is a bit more simple. We're going to show me a circle. Okay, just a simple circle. So you could show me with your arms. It could be a small circle. There we go. That's a circle, just with our fingers. Perfect circle. Okay, show me with your legs. Anything you like. Sort of circle. My knees are a bit square, but it's a sort of circle, isn't it? Good. Okay, and the last one. Can you show me a curve? So I think we did this last week, didn't we? And we had lots of different curve shapes. Good. There's lots of curve shapes in art, isn't there? And especially the Islamic art we've been looking at recently. So show me your curve shape. I think I tried to do a curved arm under and a curved arm over as well. But any shape you like. Good. Okay, so now we're a little bit more warmed up. We've got our heads in the right space. I want to show you some more of these pictures that I have found. So just whizzing through, this is what we looked at over the last few weeks. So this is some examples of Islamic art that we've been looking at. And we've already realised that it's very repetitive, the way that these patterns are used. They're like little motifs. They're used again and again and again, aren't they? So this is what we looked at, and this is what we focused on last week, didn't we? The beautiful Turkish jug. And the beautiful patterns here, the green bits that looked a little bit like scales, but it definitely wasn't an animal. And then the sort of flower patterns here, the handle, which was a lovely curve. And we made some movement around that, but this week I wanted to look specifically at 3 areas of design. And the first one is floral design, so all the flowers that are used in Islamic art. And as we talked about before, that artists use flowers in their designs in place of animal or human forms. So if there were certain types of flowers that were used, were often had religious meanings. So the cypress flower, for example, often represented being humble before God. So these often had a meaning behind, they weren't just put on there put on these ceramics and rugs and things like that, there was often meaning behind these patterns. Okay, so these are the floral images, and we'll use this later. The next one was calligraphy. Calligraphy is a way of drawing, okay, but the writing's really quite beautiful, and so they decided to use this in a lot of their designs as well. So the calligraphy that was used was often sort of quotes taken from the Quran, which is the Islamic sacred book. There were scripts of poetry highlighting the importance of the Arabic language, and Islamic artists could use calligraphy to both celebrate and remember Allah without depicting him as a living being. So you can see there. So you can imagine what a lovely movement we can do with these. That's got a really lovely sort of movement to it, hasn't it? And like ink from a pen, it sort of flows out a bit like dance and movement, doesn't it? So that would be really good to look at. And the third one, which we talked about before, the geometric designs. So these are combinations of squares and circles, and they form intricate patterns on various mediums, which are forms of metal, paper, wood, glass and ceramics. So we've talked about this before, haven't we? And they were even found on pottery, carpets, jewellery and tiles. So these could go anywhere, these kind of patterns, they were used everywhere. And you can see again the detail. There's a circle, but inside's another circle, and inside that's a star. And the detail just goes on forever and ever. It's really beautiful. These are one of my favourite ones, the geometric ones. They used overlapping to form a pattern or framing calligraphy or floral designs. Okay, so sometimes these were used as a sort of frame, and then the calligraphy or floral patterns would be inside of a geometric frame. So this, I thought, could give us loads of ideas. So let's have a look again. So the floral designs, try and remember these. And they're different as well. So this is a bit more sort of blocky and a bit bolder, but then this one's a little bit more intricate and detailed, isn't it? And this one's very detailed. This is like a tile or something like that, isn't it? So again, very different. Okay, that's the calligraphy. And then we have the geometric designs, which we've looked at before. So what I want you to do, if you can you please grab a pen and a piece of paper? Okay, if you want to pause me if you haven't got one, anything will do. We're just going to scribble down some ideas and it's going to help us create our dance. So if you want to go and get a pen and paper, that would be great. I'll get my pen from the floor. And what we're going to do is we are going to look at the floral designs, the calligraphy designs, and the geometric designs, and we're going to draw a little idea and a shape from each of those patterns. Now, I'm not an artist at all, so all I'm drawing is a very, very simple shape. So what I'm thinking is something floral. So what I'm going to do is, I think of sort of these wavy patterns here. So I'm going to do something like that, and I'm thinking about both sides. Can you see? So really, really simple. Now I really like that idea. Okay, so that is my floral design. Really simple, it doesn't look amazing at all, but what I'm thinking about is how I'm going to make this into dance. So if you can, just draw down any floral design you can think of. It can be a leaf, could be an actual flower, or it could just be something super, super simple. Okay, the next thing we're looking at is the calligraphy. Okay, now this, I keep imagining almost like in dance, because we've got so much space around us, we don't have to just draw in front of us, we could draw up above us, to the side, okay, that kind of thing. So I'm thinking quite wild. This is not calligraphy, this is definitely not Arabic, this doesn't say anything. I'm just thinking about how a pen would move through the space. So this is actually quite sort of wild drawing, almost like the word scribble that we looked at the beginning. So we've got our floral design, we've got our calligraphy, the idea of sort of just moving through space as if we were drawing, and then our final one is our geometric design. And this one, I like the idea of being very different from the other two, so it's more formal and it's more straight and strict. So I think I'm going to draw a square, and inside the square I'm going to draw a circle like that. So square and a circle. Now that is not an amazing piece of art, but what it's doing is it's giving me ideas to create movement. So what you can do is, if you haven't finished, don't worry. Okay, you can pause me, or you can go back and listen to what I'm saying again. You can go through the floral, the calligraphy and the geometric shapes until you've got a picture you're happy with. Okay, if you are ready, you can come into the space with your picture, and this is what we're going to do. We are going to look at our picture and we're going to think, how am I going to create movement using what I've got on my piece of paper? So what I've got my floral design. So looking at your floral design, your little bit of drawing you've done, mine sort of goes out to the side. So I'm going to do one of those, and I've actually got 4, so I'm going to do 2 on each side. And that's going to be my floral design I'm turning into movement. So I've got these sort of wavy flowers, petals, leaves, whatever you want to call them, and I'm going to do 2 on each side. Now my calligraphy, I'm going to, like I said, not necessarily use this, or like as if I was drawing on the floor on a piece of paper. I'm going to take that and I'm going to use it all over the space that I have. So I've got my up space, I've got my side space, and I like the idea of scribbling and writing all over the place. I'm then going to swap hands so I can do it again on the other side. So this is quite a free movement, isn't it? Good, all around. So your calligraphy can be much more sort of ordered and in a line, like writing is. Or if you want to, you can have the idea of something just flowing all around you. So we've got the floral design, we've got the calligraphy design, and then we've got the geometric design. So this is much more sort of strict and ordered and neat. So I thought about drawing a square in front of me, and I'm going to draw my circle like that. Okay, so draw my square in front of me and draw my circle like that. Okay, so have a little practice. You can pause me, okay? Have a little practice with those 3 shapes and those 3 ideas of design. Okay, have a practice, and then we can try with music. Okay, if you're ready and you want to have a go, you can keep your notes. I've got mine right here in front of me. You can keep them in front of you to remind you. Okay, and let's have a go with music. If you're not, you can pause me and have a little bit more of a practice. Okay, so let's try it with music if you are ready. Okay. Right, how did you get on? Was that okay? Now we're all going to be finishing at different times, so if you need to, you can just keep the music playing. What I'm going to do now is go through my phrase twice, okay? And if you found this really difficult, you can just copy what I've done just to have a go at it. You don't have to come up with your own ideas if you don't want to. Okay, so you can, I'm going to run through my little phrase twice now, okay, and we'll keep the music running, and then you can try and do yours twice as well. Okay, so floral, calligraphy, and geometric design. So let's try again, okay? So, how did you get on? Okay, was that good? Brilliant. So, what we can do now is take your drawing, your piece of paper, and you can put it out the way now, because what we can do is that's a starting point for our dance, and we've got our little phrase, but we can now extend it and make it bigger. So, I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm on the floor all the time with my dance. So what I might try to do now is add some levels in. So at the beginning, I think I'll stay on the floor, and I've got my floral arms, da, 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 da. So I'm going to keep that on the floor, but I think when I'm standing for my calligraphy now, I'm going to get up off the floor so I can make the movement much bigger and much more interesting. Still going to swap over the pen that's in my hand, okay, and make that much bigger. And this makes my movement much bigger so I can use all the space, okay. And I think for my final square, I might completely change direction and kneel down again, but maybe on one leg to draw my square with a circle, square with a circle. So I'm changing levels and I'm changing directions as well. So what you can do is pause me in a second and have a go, think about different levels and different directions, how you can change that in your design. Instead of just sitting or standing in one place, think about facing different places and our high, middle and low levels. Okay? If you want to carry on, okay, with me, once you've had a think, we can try that with music now. Okay, so let's do it twice again with music, and we will try now with your different levels and your different directions. Okay, off we go. Done. Okay, I hope you came up with some really good phrases. Okay, if you didn't have enough time, that's okay. You can wind this back, listen to the music. Okay, and you don't have to change the directions and the levels if you're happy with just working on your little phrase that you've got with your design. Okay, then you can go from there, and you can imagine where we could take this. So we could make it bigger, we could keep adding to it, and that's a really good choreographic way of taking an idea like the Islamic art patterns, looking at the floral, the calligraphy and the geometric patterns and turning them into a dance phrase. So there's lots and lots of things we can do with that, and we'll be looking again over the next few weeks at different ways of creating dance and also more kinds of art. So thank you very much for today. Okay, and I will see you soon. Thanks.